Hey all, Wild Weather here for liveweatherblogs.com. We're going to start here with weather underground, see what's going on here on the surface map tonight. Here's our southern branch system down here, not too far from New Orleans at this hour. Um, Pretty much getting ready to transfer energy from this area of low pressure on off to just off the coast of the Carolinas now. You can see the occlusion going on, meaning that this storm here is fading as the new coastal system will take over off the Carolinas here and then move up the coast. Coming in from the west, we have our cold front here, and associated with this cold front are some showers well out ahead of it. This will swing down and kind of team up with this area of low pressure, and the phasing should take place here off the east coast, but probably a little too far out for any real damage being done here in terms of very heavy rain and wind. Most of that should remain off to the east-northeast of the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Not saying that there's not going to be some significant rain. Last night I was calling for generally a half an inch of rain in eastern Pennsylvania here along the Delaware River and points north and west. And I see that probably still happening, but maybe to slightly higher amounts to about 75 hundredths of an inch. Maybe a half to a 75 hundredths of an inch was about a quarter inch higher than previously thought last night, as the storm is a little bit closer to the coast tonight. Now further east, east and southeast of the Delaware River, I'll show you my map in a moment, I'm thinking still 75 hundredths to probably up to about an inch and a half. Last night I was going with 75 hundredths to 1 1/10 of an inches of rain. That still seems to be a good call, but maybe going up to about an inch and a half at this point. So not much change, but rained on the way. I certainly thought it would rain at least a few hours, and we're certainly going to get a fairly good soaking, but again, not a major nor'easter, as some of the models over the weekend, such as the Canadian, were showing a major storm here and a big phasing bomb and inches of rain over here in eastern Pennsylvania, and maybe even some snow down into the from Pittsburgh into the mountains of North Carolina. Doesn't seem to be happening this time around. Low pressure is going to form here. High pressure off the New England coast will give away off to the northeast. Should allow for rain. Looking for snow if this were winter here. Probably looking at a rain to snow event once the coastal took over. It'd be touch and go. It depends. Low pressure and a cold front coming in from the west could pretty much lock us in for maybe a rain to a freezing rain event. That could have been this perhaps this storm here, but we'll see. That's down the road. Let's take a look at the water vapor map this hour. Here's the water vapor map at this hour. Clearly, you can see our pinwheeling storm, the upper level support for this, diving down here into the Gulf of Mexico. There's surface low pressure here just south of New Orleans, and then we'll give way to new low pressure. You see this blow up of blues here off the Carolina coast, indicating new moisture forming for our new low to move up the east coast, and then wait for another piece of energy to dive down and phase with it. But by the time that happens, the storm is too far offshore to really lash the mid-Atlantic and northeastern coasts with too much heavy rain and wind. Most of that will be relegated to about 150 to 200 miles offshore, and that's when this mid-latitude storm will probably tap into moisture down here from what is now currently Tropical Storm Tomas. Real quick, let's talk about Tropical Storm Tomas while we have the water vapor map. And Tropical Storm Tomas is centered right about here, not far from 75 west, moving off to the north-northwest. Really thought that this storm would be a little bit stronger than this right now, and right now it's 45 mile per hour tropical storm. Last night I thought maybe this would really develop. The National Hurricane Center thought so too. Was going for 90 miles per hour, but I just don't see that happening. This storm is going to be getting into a pretty hostile environment once this very deep trough of low pressure along the southern branch of the jet stream gets over here, and this picks it up and races it north-northwest, north-northeast rather, across the extreme western tip of Haiti. Yes, heavy rain is heading for Haiti, but looks like disaster will be kind of dodged this time, hopefully, as this area does major problems. All the vegetation down here, 98% of the trees in Haiti are gone because of overpopulation or just simply the way that things are there in Haiti. They need wood resources. Alright, let's go to another source here. Again, sticking with hamweather.com. Thank those people for allowing me to use their website here. Here's the radar at this hour. See the heavy rain down here in the Gulf coastal states of the Panhandle of Florida. That's one area of energy. You can see the other area of energy, the rotating upper level support down here will swing to the east-northeast. This area of heavy rain will move off here to the northeast and then team up with developing area of low pressure here off the Carolina coast, and will bring and move up the east coast. Parallel east coast, most of the heavy rain should remain offshore. What's coming for the mid-Atlantic, Philadelphia, New York City, Washington, is this area of precipitation, which is somewhat lighter. And looking at this, and you got some heavier bands popping up here as the cold front comes and starts lifting the moisture. That's where we're going to get our heavy rain, or rain heavy at times at least. I wouldn't call it a flooding event or a need for a flash flood watch at all, but a general rain, light to moderate rain, and maybe a couple hours where maybe it comes down pretty hard, and that's where you get your half an inch to 75/100ths of an inch. Last night again thinking half an inch, but we'll see. Last night I was thinking, hey, models were going to trend west a little bit, and they somewhat have, and they pretty much have stayed status quo. Last night again, I was going with generally a half an inch of rain in eastern Pennsylvania, extreme northern Delaware, and western New Jersey here. I'm thinking maybe now we're going to take this area here and bump it off to the west and northwest. I didn't get into this area because really wasn't, looking at that area at that point. Over here in eastern New Jersey, we can extend this 75/100ths to 1.10 inches over here in this part of Delaware and South Jersey, and probably southeastern Pennsylvania for that fact. Probably about 50 miles west, and then we'll pretty much call it the day here. Again, not a major storm by any standards, just a regular fall storm where it rains, and generally north and west of, say, this line here gets a half an inch. This area in here points south and east and north and east. Generally 75/100ths to 1.10 inches generally, and maybe a few isolated spots pick up an inch and a half. Where the heaviest rain is going to fall is up in this area. This is your area and points northeast from here that you could probably get 2 inches of rain or more as the storm starts get going, and maybe some moisture from Tomas is tapped into it later down the road. Alright, again, go back here, back to the surface map on Weather Underground. Again, low pressure here will slowly move east-northeast. You can see the moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Team up with developing low pressure here off North Carolina, and then move up the east coast as the high pressure system gives away and the cold front comes in from the west. That's all I have for now tonight, everyone. Stay dry. Clouds are in the increase right now, and as you can see, the moisture is already moving into West Virginia, and that soon will creep up into Washington, Baltimore, and then probably start raining here in Philadelphia in the next hour, or I would say next 2 hours or so. Enjoy your night. Stay safe. Stay dry. Take care. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com.